Hi, so welcome to Thailand. I'm actually in Bangkok and this is the Hotel Ascot in Saturn. This is the hotel behind me and the pool. Excuse the music, I thought this would be a nice place to come and make a video. And although it's after 10 o'clock, there's still people here and there's still music going on. I just want to reflect on the day. We came to Thailand to follow up on a training that we gave 6 months ago, where we trained about, at this factory, I think about 350 workers. It's part of a program where we've trained around 2,500 workers, but the rest at the moment are in Indonesia. This is the factory in Thailand where we're working. I can't say who it's for and I can't say where the factory specifically is and what they do, because at the moment this is part of a pilot program. But it doesn't stop me talking about what we're doing in terms of the project and the training. So having taught the management and the line managers and the line representatives that have been elected by the workers, and teaching the workers themselves heart-focused breathing and heart coherence techniques, they are now using that for 2 minutes every morning when they come in from home and from stressful situations at home and from travel to work, and they are doing 2 minutes heart coherence breathing together as a workforce. So 350 people come off the line and gather all at the end of the line and do the breathing together, led by their line reps. And they've been doing that since we were here last time, so we're getting a lot of good feedback about the impact this is having. But we're here now to follow on from that and to train stress to strength coaches, so that when emotional issues come up, they've actually got somebody there to deal with it. So if there's a technical problem, they've got somebody to deal with it. You know, if there's a work problem, like a payment problem, they've got somebody to deal with it. There are channels to deal with these issues, but there are not channels to deal with stress issues or emotional issues if they come up. So what we're building into the program is somebody that has been elected, somebody that they're comfortable to go to, that will be trained in techniques expanding on the heart coherence techniques, expanding on heart focused breathing, so that they can manage and help support somebody who is triggered into stress, whether that's from bigger issues or just from the accumulation of stressful things. They are trained in how to manage their own stress and manage how to help regulate somebody who is feeling stressed. Now, the thing that is striking me at the moment with the work that we're doing is how much my work has changed and how much I'm focusing very much on creating a safe space for the practitioner and for the client, in this case the workers. And what I once would have done would have been wanted to train people to understand that what happens now is connected to past traumas, and we go in and we clear the past trauma and we change the belief structure, and therefore we change the meaning to the event, and therefore we alleviate the present issues. That's not appropriate in these circumstances, because the level of training in order to manage somebody coping and dealing with somebody's traumatic experiences is not high enough. We're not able to do that level of training in the time we have with interpretation, and it isn't what they're training to be. These are workers wanting to help manage people's stress. They're not training to be therapists. So we had to think very carefully about how we create something safe that means that people can deal with issues that come up, but they can do it in a way that keeps the worker and the colleague safe and keeps themselves safe. So this 4-day training is very much about teaching skills, expanding on the heart math principles, teaching them more about the heart breathing techniques, but building into it meridian tapping techniques and other stress management techniques, as well as getting them to understand rapport and how to connect and how to create safety. So actually, without them realizing, we do talk about Porges' polyvagal theory, and we talk about how the community works, how people feel safe when they're connected to other people, how to create that, how to bring about a felt sense of safety in the worker or the colleague in order to be able to help regulate the way they're feeling before they start to address what it is that's stressing them or been triggering them. Now, for me, this is a much more ethical way of working in these circumstances, because I'm not dropping in here training people to dredge up people's past traumas and then leaving them with a very short amount of training and knowledge and expecting them to be able to deal with that, when it takes people a lot longer and a lot more in-depth training and a lot more experience to be able to manage people's past events and past traumas. So what we're doing is we're teaching the background, we're teaching that people have these traumas, and we're even teaching the pre-6 years old how we form our beliefs, our core beliefs, how we build our perceptions so that what we perceive to be dangerous is different for us all. So we're developing a high level of respect for other people's perceptions of the world, other people's way in which they perceive trauma, other ways in which people manage their own trauma and stress. And we're teaching these coaches ways in which to manage that and to help to regulate themselves and other people. So we're teaching them how to use the techniques to get their what will be the clients, the workers they're working with, present, to feel safe, and to actually be able to come into coherence and to be able to then start to self-regulate so that they can manage their own stress and their own problems, and give the guidance to the facilitators to facilitate that questioning technique and that ability to be able to get the person to self-regulate. So on top of entering into coherence, we're teaching tapping techniques and heart-focused tapping techniques, which maintains that level of safety. We're teaching them to help people put their problems to one side before they go into techniques. So we're not teaching them to delve into trauma. We're teaching them to actually keep somebody present, keep somebody in the moment, keep somebody here with, in the present moment, so that they can re-regulate, rebalance, and they can then be facilitated by the coach in order to actually address what is triggering them and what is causing them that level of stress at the moment. And once we've kind of come out of that stress response, we're not just de-stressing, we're actually coming out of that automatic stress response, and we are coming back into full cortical facilitation. We're getting, they're getting their thinking facilities back, and then they're being guided to look at what their options are, what their needs are, and what the requirements are in order to be able to manage their own stress levels and their own trigger levels, their own recognition of their own traumatic events and how that's impacting them. They're being taught to do all of that by keeping the person safe with them. So this is really key to, for me, to be able to come into a place, especially where people are not training to be full-time therapists, give them skills to help to self-regulate and to help regulate their fellow workers, and to give them the guidance to be able to use these techniques when we've gone, and how to teach simple breathing techniques, simple tapping techniques, so that people can start to spread those self-regulation skills, those special skills that we know will help to bring somebody out of a stress response or a triggered response to a past event, and actually give them the ability to think and reason again, and to help to regulate their own emotional state, their physical state, their mental state, so that they can actually build resilience, build the ability to respond to stress and trauma, and to respond to their daily surroundings, their daily events, and the issues that would normally cause them to be sensitized and to be triggered. So we've only had the first day of the 4-day training. Tomorrow we begin to introduce new skills into the practice. Today we went over what was already taught to them in the prior visit. I was amazed how much they learnt, how much they were aware of the reasons their body responds and how it responds in the hierarchical order, according to Porges' polyvagal theory. That they took on all of that I taught them last time, and they have a really good, firm awareness of the intelligence of the body, and of the way that we develop strategies for coping with stress. Now they're learning how to use the techniques and how to use their own heart coherence and their own energetic presence in order to help to regulate other people. So it's amazing to teach this in such a situation where people actually have a full-time job. They actually have, they have other priorities, but they are able to help other people with these very practical skills that they can apply, so that they can use themselves and teach other people. So watch this space. This is how we're developing our work in Indonesia and Thailand. It's also the way that Caroline and I are developing our work in Bosnia with people with severe PTSD, and and it's thanks to that work that we're able to build on top of what we are both learning and studying from our very broad background in working with different therapy modalities and our study into stress and trauma. And it's that feedback and that research and that work that we're doing that is able to give us this knowledge and understanding of how we actually give these skills and train these skills to people so that they can use them in a safe way, use them ethically, use them without causing damage or creating further problems for people who are really looking to actually improve their quality of life and improve their ability to manage stress and to manage and to process traumatic events. So the key for me at the moment is exploring and working with how we can do all of that by staying present and not going back along the timeline. We understand past events exist, but we keep the person present in order to process those past events. So I aim to make another couple of recordings, but this was really just to reflect on where I've got with our few days here and where we are heading with the work and the research that we're doing with the heart math research and the heart math training that I've had, and how we're using that to put everything else together. It creates the foundation so that the work that we're putting together has a much firmer grounding in being able to help people in a safe and an ethical way. So I'm going to say goodnight now. I'm well aware, I keep looking at myself, and I'm well aware that I look tired, and I am tired, and I need to get to bed. So I look forward to making my next recording in a day or so, and I'll be reflecting on how well the rest of the course has gone. Okay, so good night from the Ascot Saturn in Bangkok in Thailand. Good night.